Hello and welcome back to Sambo iRacing for Week 5, Season 1, 2024. We are in the Ray Racing Formula Ford 1600, the good old FF1600 at Line Rock for the GP layout. This is a really good fun track, as most of them are. Unlike the Formula V, when we're in the Formula Ford, there are a lot more braking zones and it's a lot more of a handful to drive, but you really do feel like you're driving it every second that you are in that cockpit, so it's a lot of fun. For those that are new to my channel, what we do is we do a run through from the cockpit where I slow it all down and show you my braking markers and throttle inputs, etc., and then we go through on a chase cam at full speed, and then back in the cockpit with the driving line on for one final full speed run through. If you do have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments. And also do remember that if you want to race against my Ghost, I do now implement a Dropbox where I upload my best laps for the Formula V and the Formula Ford so that you can race against me virtually, even more virtually than normal. Anyway, I will see you in the cockpit and let's run through the lap. Okay, so here we are for the lap. In fourth gear, over on the left-hand side, and just after we pass the number 2 marker on the left-hand side, here it is, I brake quite hard up to about 80%, and then I start moving towards the apex, and as I do that, as I put the steering input in, that's when I trail it off, and then drop it down from fourth into third, keeping the car balanced with some maintenance throttle, just balancing it there between sort of 15% and 30%. As the speed comes down, I drop it down into second gear, again, keeping some maintenance throttle on, no brake at this stage, back up to 100%. I'm going to really attack the curb on the right-hand side, and the car will drift out to the left. I'm now going to change up to third gear, and just as we get to these lines in the road here on the right-hand side, I'm going to briefly tap the brakes, only up to about 12%, so not really to slow the car down, more to change the balance, get some weight over the front axle, sorry. And then I'm going to change it down to second gear, just here, and I'm going to start building back up on the throttle and try and stay over on the left-hand side. You're going to get some sliding going on here, and what we're looking to do is take this next corner at full throttle from second, changing up to third gear on the blue light. Now here, I don't change up to fourth, I just rev it out in third. And what I'm looking is just before the tree, I'm going to really attack this up to 96% braking there in a straight line. And as you can see, I've now been on 96% for quite a few frames, but I'm doing this fully in a straight line. And then only as I start turning towards the apex do I start coming off the brakes. I drop it down into first gear, trying to get that nice feel for it, start building back up on the throttle. I'm aiming inside of the sausage curb on the right-hand side because the car's going to understeer. Now, unlike the V, you can actually take a bit of the curbs here. It won't actually kill your car, but again, what we're looking to do is try and get through without hitting them. Keeping it from first, changing up to second on the blue light, and trying to make it as straight as possible. Up to third gear. We're not going to change to fourth this stage, we're just revving it out. So as we get up, we want to be dropping the throttle down to about 20%-ish, and then coming straight back on. You've got the reduction in speed enough from just coming off the throttle with a lift to actually get around this corner. Holding it at 100% throttle, changing up to fourth, and then we're just going to come down to about 50% throttle here. We're going to use the camber and straight back up to 100% in fourth gear. Your car will drift out wide. It's absolutely fine being on the rumble strip. That's fine. Don't hit the grass. If you do, it will fire you off to the right-hand side towards the pits, and you'll notice that in the racing. If you're putting some pressure on someone in front of you and they try and take this too much, with too much speed, you'll see them fire off, and as you drive past them, you'll have a little smile on your face. And then we come across the line for a 56.429. So shouldn't be a bad lap. If you're doing race pace around there, you should be finishing around the podium positions in the top split. If you're in a split lower than that, then that should be winning your races quite comfortably. Okay, back for the chase cam at full speed. See you in a second. Right, here we are in the chase cam at full speed. So, 2 marker. Gonna brake, start turning in, dropping it into third, and then when the revs are loud, into second, really building back up on the throttle quite quickly. Brief change up to third, little dab of the brakes, down to second, let the car slide in. Taking this next one at full throttle, up to third gear. Don't change to fourth at this stage, just rev it out. Looking for that tree, you're going to brake really quite hard for quite a long time, into first gear. Try not to hit the sausage curbs. Up to third gear. It's just going to be a lift here, about 50%. Oh no, down to about 25%. Sorry, it feels like 50% when you're doing it. Don't hit the grass there. Up to fourth. And again, this is 50%. And again, don't hit the grass. Nice clean lap. This is a great fun track to race on. Get all your passing done on the main straight though. Here we are for the final run through from the cockpit. Fourth gear, brake, down to third, down to second, attack the curbing, up to third, little dab of the brakes, down to second, wait for the car to feel like you're going to make it, now up to third, keeping full throttle through that turn, rev it out, tree, brake hard for a long time, straight line, turning in, first gear, up to third, up to the left hand side, a lift down to about 25%, back on the throttle, up to fourth, lift down to about 50%, again back on the throttle, don't hit the grass. Thanks for watching another week of Sambo iRacing. I'll see you again next week. Cheers.